Hi guys, my name is Brandon from Brandon Goes Traveling, and welcome to my channel. My job is to help you get out there, explore, and see the world. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the Cotswolds in the United Kingdom. And if you haven't been there or are looking to go there, I can't recommend it enough. You really do feel like you're stepping back in time when you go, and there's some of the most incredible sights. So let's get started. First place that we're going to talk about is Bibury in the Cotswolds. And I feel like this is kind of that scenic photo that everybody sees on Instagram and Facebook. And it is one of those kind of cliche photos that you need to get if you go to the Cotswolds. One thing I will say is it's incredibly busy. So I do recommend getting there really early in the morning, or you're going to be waiting in line for hours just to get this photo with nobody in your picture. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it did take me quite some time to get this photo. So do just be mindful that it is a very busy area. Now, Bibury is a nice city. It has a small city center that you can walk around in, tons and tons of things to do, and just be aware that if you do go to the Cotswolds, it's going to be a lot of walking. There's not a lot of transportation to get you from point A to point B, so it may be best to either one rent a car or maybe just keep an eye on bus schedules to get you from one part of the Cotswolds to the next, because it is a lot of walking and the transportation is kind of lacking, especially when you compare it to other places in the United Kingdom. Just a church picture that was taken in Bibury, just another spot that you could go to, quite scenic. One thing I will say is there are some bathrooms actually located around this church area. That's one thing I did note that I thought maybe the Cotswolds was maybe lacking just a little bit in terms of public restrooms, but there is some near this church. So next place we'll talk about is Lower Slaughter. And one thing you'll notice if you ever travel around the UK is their names they can be quite deceiving at some point in time. Now I can promise you there's no one getting slaughtered around over here. It's just a name. There's actually two places. There's Lower Slaughter and then there's Upper Slaughter. I don't have any photos of Upper Slaughter on this video, but it is definitely worth going to and spending, just a couple hours there and checking that out. Now this is Lower Slaughter, still scenic. It still has that Cotswolds feels. You really do feel like you're stepping back in time. Still lots of photogenic areas to grab a nice picture from. Now I'll be honest with you, I only think you need a few hours in either of the slaughters. They're not that big, and there's maybe more. You should spend more time elsewhere in the Cotswolds, but this is nonetheless still a nice place to check out as well. And here's just another picture of Lower Slaughter in that same region, not too far from the previous photo. And next place we're going to check out is the Bourton on the Water. And this is probably one of my favorite places in the Cotswolds. Some call it the Venice of the United Kingdom or the Venice of the Cotswolds. And it really does kind of feel like that. I've been to Venice a few times now. And, yeah, okay, it's not Venice. There's no gondolas and stuff like that. But, for the UK, this is probably the best you're going to get. And it is really nice. You have a lot of areas where there's canals and shops you could walk into. And the photos, they don't do it justice because it is absolutely beautiful there. Now, one thing again I will say is it does get really busy. You can see kind of people on the photo on the right there, with lines of people already on the canals, and this photo is probably only taken at about 10:30 in the morning, so it does get busy very quickly. Just something to keep in mind if you do decide to go there. So again, yeah, just a photo taken from the bridge just a few hours later, and see, yeah, it's completely packed, especially on a nice sunny day like this. There's going to be people out wandering about. But one thing I will say is there's tons of stuff to do. So, even if you go to this area, the vibes are really nice. Pubs are nice, and you do get that chance to get a nice photo, even though there's might be a lot of people there. And last but not least, one thing that you need to be prepared for if you go to Cotswolds is walking. So I was there for about 2 days, and I did roughly 10 miles each day just in walking. And tons and tons of trails, tons and tons of areas to go hiking about. This photo right here was taken just outside of Bibury, so we actually walked from Bibury to this location. And if you kept walking further off in the distance and made a left, that does pop you out into like another town where you could get a nice drink at one of the pubs there, or you could just continue walking onto another field and go about that way. But it is some of the most scenic views I've seen in all of the UK. You really don't feel like you're in the UK, especially in this area. You just feel like you're walking on some nice plush and green forest, and it is one of my favorite places, I'd say, in all of the United Kingdom, and I would highly recommend going there. Yeah, so anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. Drop down in the comments below what's your favorite part of the UK, what's your favorite part of the Cotswolds, and if you do plan on going there and you have any questions, please feel free to drop them below.